Hi everybody! Ooh, something weird popped up there. I don't know what it was. Wasn't me. Anyway, we're off. This is a continuation of Altering the Little Golden Book about Bob Ross. Brilliant. So we've gutted it, taken all the pages out. So that's now just the cover, which we're going to have to alter because, as you see, the signature that we're working through is getting ever fatter. A bit like me, really. And so we're going to have to broaden that spine, but that's Mr. F's department, so I'll leave that up to him and just carry on decorating. So see where we're up to. The paper I'm using, I think I've told you pretty much every time, but people are still asking on the group. So this is the paper. It's Stamperia Atelier des Arts, and it is gorgeous. It's just gorgeous. That's all I can say about it. Probably my favourite paper in the world. Right, so page 1, we put a belly band here, and a little journaling card in behind it. This is a flip out. Oh yeah, and a big journaling card there. Look at that, isn't that gorgeous? Backed with cream card, that fits in there. That flips open, got a journaling card there, and a little pocket at the bottom with 2 journaling cards in. And then when you turn that page over, we've got a little flip up with a little pocket here and just some little bits and pieces in there that came from the pad. I think they're inside the back cover, actually, those fussy cuts. So I just cut them out and popped them in there. And then we've got a set of, I've glued that one in, of pockets that go all the way down the page with a couple of journaling cards in. So nothing too stressful. That's that. Then another page all about Bob. Then we come to this page, which has got the double layered pockets on it and 2 tags in it. I haven't done any decorating yet. That's going to come further down the line. There's my 2 tags. They're just beautiful. I love them. And they just fit into there, like so. And over that page, we've got a long side pocket that I've glued in the middle to give us 2 pockets. Look at that easel. I'm so glad. I was in 2 minds yesterday whether to use the easel or what was on the reverse, and I'm so glad I chose that. And these 2 journaling cards, which are also backed in cream card. And what we've been doing is we've been going through the book. So this is on the back side of that flip up page, and it was a shorter page, it was that. So I elongated the page by putting a pocket on outside the page. So there's my page edge, here's where the pockets come to, and then we've got a tag in each one. There and there. So that's straightforward as well, I think, pretty much so. So this brings us onto this page, which is the other side of the suitcase page. So let's take that out of the journal and see what I have in mind for today. Well, when it was my birthday, Tony Vince, my good friend, sent me a load of this Stamperia Atelier des Arts stuff. Die cuts, rice papers, a 12 by 12 pad, an 8 by 8 pad. It was like Christmas, really, really was. And I thought that today I might try and use one of the rice papers. Not that I need to, I could use ordinary paper, and if you haven't got the rice papers, just use the ordinary papers, because this isn't showing the rice paper off to its best. This would be best on a box or a vase or bottle, candle, something like that. But I'm going to use it on my page just to give a kind of different texture. That's all that I'm going to get from this here. So I think what I'll do is put the top up to the top of the page, and this page it's got that flip over here, but I'm going to open it all the way up and do all of that in the rice paper. So I think the best thing to do is I've inked down my centre line here just to help me place this on. Just put it on like that. I think that'll preserve as much of the rice paper as I can. I'll get to preserve this bit and this bit. As you can see, it alters with what you put behind it. You know, this bit here with the cream, it looks creamy. This bit here with the black, it looks much darker. So, you know, it's perfect for a box or something like that, where you've primed it and then you stick this on and you can colour underneath it first. That's what I would say. However, we're not doing any of that. We're just going to stick it onto our page. So I'm using my Liquitex matte medium. Any matte medium will do. That's just what I prefer. Stuck my lid down. I'm just going to put a bit out onto my mat and literally paste the paper. All of it. And you want quite a good coat. Rice paper is oddly quite resistant to being glued down. You need a lot of glue. So that wasn't enough. There we go. Make sure that you get the edges. Definitely. I'm just making sure I've got all my edges done, and that bit down the middle that's going to fold, and definitely the bit near the spine, because that would be a real annoyance. I was going to say something else there, but I changed it to annoyance. Well done. Right, let's place this on then. So I want that. I want it a bit higher up, I think. I think if I can get the top on, the rest should be okay. Yeah, that's bang near perfect. My goodness me. This is the difference between rice paper and napkins. Napkins, you look at them sideways and they wrinkle, crinkle, tear, whatever. I'm going back over it now with more of the matte medium, just to make sure it's absolutely stuck in place and it's not going to even think about bubbling up, because that's not what we want. So over the entire thing with your matte medium. Matte medium is really handy to have. But if you are the type of person that never ever ever does mixed media work, then don't buy it, because you won't get value for money. Just use your Distress Collage medium. That'll work equally well. I just find it a little bit spendy for my purse. I like it though, it's good. And, you know, as you know, I do quite a bit of mixed media stuff, so I'm happy with this. Right, that's that. Wash your brush immediately. I have wrecked so many brushes, you wouldn't even care to know. Right, so I'm going to put this ruler down here, the edge of the paper, and just try and tear that off if I can. If not, I'll cut it off. No, it doesn't really want to tear off. But I might get it something near and then I can cut it off. Rice paper has sort of fibres in it, which are quite resistant to being torn, as opposed once again to a napkin. So right, let's cut this off. It's all very flippy flappy at the moment. Just going to leave that until it's dry and cut this bit off here. And once again, it doesn't have to be exact. I'm just going to leave it till it's dry, and then it'll be a lot easier to handle. So I'm going to make sure that that's spread out like that. It can dry like that, and then I can use it again for something else, because that's just, do not throw that away if you're using rice paper. It's just too gorgeous. Where did I think I saw this bit here? Doesn't look to me like it's entirely stuck down, so let's go over that bit. So there we are. There's nothing now that we can do until that dries. But we can get on with the other components of the page. Isn't that just gorgeous? It's just so different from the flat paper. I really love it. When it dries, it'll have a lovely texture. So, excuse me, I'm going to go now, wash my brush. Be diligent about your brushes, please. And then we'll come back and we'll make what's going to go on this page. So I'll see you shortly. So just to have a look at this, just to measure it really, before it goes off to dry, I just want to measure that again. I think it's about 8, but just to be on the safe side, it's about 8. So I'm going to make an envelope for this page to go over the page and be paper clipped on. So I want to make my envelope about 7. Yeah, about 7, I think. 7 inches wide. So let's get on with making the envelope. I've selected this piece of paper. I really love it. Gorgeous. And that's the back. So let's cut that off at 7 inches. Ooh, I'm going to have to get the extension bit of my Timmy out. I don't know if I've ever used that before. How does it work? Okay. I think you pull this bit out. Yeah. Yep. Excellent. Oh, you can pull the other bit out as well if you want. Alright, I don't really have room for this on my desk. But never mind, that's okay. So I want it at 7 inches. Which bit of the thing do I want? Well, I like the bit with the paint palette on, so let's have that. To move everything out the way. Right, so that's at 7, I would say. I don't know if that is. Let's get that exactly on 7, because I can see that. Right. So it's right up against the bottom. Seems to say it's 7, so let's go for it. Lovely. Oh, don't you love the sound of that cutter? It's gorgeous. So let's put those back in again. Right, so we've got our paper that's 7, and actually the other measurement I should have taken is how much we've got. That's the crease line there. So we've got from the spine to the crease is 4 inches. So I think 3.5. I think we'll make it 3.5. So I want to make it 7 by 3.5. And that piece needs to go off to dry. Right, so to make the envelope, we need, I've cut that at 7 actually, that's slightly shorter. I should have added an inch on, but I didn't. So I've got 7 inches here, and I'm going to crease down it at 1/2 inch on either side. So whatever measurement you want, you need to add on 1 inch for these 2 1/2 inch creases. And as you saw, I forgot to do that, but that doesn't matter. Right, so the bit on the top that's going to flip over, I want that to be 1.25 inches, let's say. It's an arbitrary measurement, you can make it what you like. But I'm going to make it 1.25 inches. There. And then I know, I did know, but I've forgotten what I said the, oh my goodness me, what did I want it again? That's 4 to there, so I was going to make it 3.5, wasn't I? Yeah, okay. So, onto that 1.25 inches, I want to add 3.5. So that's 1, 2, 3.5, so that's 4 3/4. So I'm going to crease that there, 4 3/4. And then I don't want the fold up bit to come right to the top. So I've got 3.5 for that bit. So I'm going to cut it off at, let's say 3. We can always trim it a bit more. So 1, 2, 3. So that's 7 3/4. And you'll see what I'm up to in a minute. It all sounds a bit weird at the minute, but it'll all come clean in the wash. I hope anyway. Oh my goodness, why don't you knock everything over? Right, so I've got score lines 1/2 inch in from each side. I've got a score line 1 1/4 inch in, then a further 3 inches, was that? 3.5, and then a further 3. And I can cut that off at that point there. So let's do that. So I'm cutting it off at the last score line that we made. I'm just going to put a pencil line there because it's kind of difficult to see. Do you like my new pencil? It's one of those pencils that you get that they kind of click and twist and whatever. So when you're thinking about things, you can just don't know what to do. I quite like it. Mr. F found it in a charity shop, and I'm pleased with it. It's funny. So that's 1, 2, 3. Yeah, just checking. Just checking. Cut that off. So that's cut off at the last score line. That's a remnant. And then what we need to do is cut off down those 1/2 inch lines, score lines, down to the score there. Same on the other side. Gosh, it's kind of difficult seeing these. Might be. It's really difficult actually. I don't know if that would pick some ink up just to help me out a little bit. Just to help a friend. I think so. I think that's it there. And I'm just going to cut straight across there at the moment. I will come back and shape that, but at the moment I'm just going to cut that straight off. Same with this side. There we go. And then the same with the bottom 2 pieces. Cut on the score line. Not even sure that is the score line. No, the score line's there. And then straight across, but we'll come back and shape that. Same on this side. Maybe if I hold it like that, I can see it a bit better. Marginally better. Anyway. There we go. And you want to be on the inside of the score line if you can. If you can even see the score line. So where are we here with these ones? That one's okay. And that one I think could do with a whisker off it. There we go. So this is what we're left with, this shape here, that looks a bit more familiar than just churning out numbers at you. So now we're gonna, oh look at that, we're gonna fold on the score lines, and then you really will see whether you've got your cuts in the right place. Hopefully you haven't cut inside too much. So that's there. This is going to come up here like that, and you can see that we need to do a little bit of trimmage, and then this will fold down like that. And that also needs a little bit of trimming, but that's fine, that's what I expected. So I'm just going to trim. While I've got that out, oh no, maybe I should trim first. Let's trim first. So I need quite a bit off this one actually. Let's try that, see what that looks like. That looks pretty good to me, as does the other side. Okay, so I've got my corner rounder out, and I'm going to use the 1/2 inch one. Do I want to do that? Let's just check. No, I'm going to leave that square. Leave that square. Then the top, that needs a little bit of trimming. But I am going to round this corner. So down to there, and I can see here where I need to trim to. It's quite a bit actually. There we go. Well, I say quite a bit, I mean it's marginal, but so that's going to go, yeah, that's looking good. So I'm going to use my 1/2 inch and trim the top, this kind of flap of the envelope, if you like. And I need to do that now really at this stage. So that's that. So when that folds over, that looks nice. When we've inked it, it'll look better. And then I need to kind of round off the top of these flaps so it looks a bit better. So I'm going to tuck that top flap in, and hopefully I'll be able to get there with my 1/4 inch rounder. Hopefully. Yeah, just about can. There we go. It's just left a bit there, which I don't want. There we go. So there's our flaps that come in, the bottom that folds up, and the top that folds over like that. So we've got ourselves a gorgeous, I mean that's just gorgeous, little envelope that goes like that, and it's going to go over the page, but we need to ink it. So I'm going to go off and ink that, and I'll come back to you to do what's going to go on the back of the page, if you like. Okay, so I think this is pretty dry now. In fact, it's dry. So I'm just going to tidy up the edges that we left a bit on the long side. So there's not going to be a margin left, but not much I can do about that. There we go, and there's some little straggly bits down here as well. There we go. I think that's all right. Okay, so that goes like that. And then this folds back over where it was folded previously. Lovely. Oh, it feels, it's so worthwhile doing the rice paper. It just feels glorious. That's what it feels like, glorious. So I'm just going to re-ink that edge there. Over the rice paper. This one as well needs a bit, whee, nearly tore the spine there. Just be careful. And also around the edge of here. So nice to have a different texture in the book. There we are. That's lovely. It's gorgeous, in fact. So what I want to do now is, this is the next page, I want to just stick that down so this becomes a little pocket. Before I do that, there's something important I need to do. I need to cover this piece of paper. Now, this is the page that we used yesterday with the suitcases on, and this is the other part of the page. So I'm going to use this part now, and that's where it'll come to, but that's going to be a pocket. So yeah, that's all going to work well. So let's cut that off down there, and that will then save these suitcases in case we need them again. So just right down there where that line, it's kind of 2/2 of a page anyway, this, to be honest, and they are fabulous remnants. Don't even think about throwing them out. So let's get the length sorted out. I just want to leave, as I say, a little margin, and that's just a touch too long. So I'll cut that there. I'm so excited with my new pencils. They're actually a set of 3. I just got one out of the box to play with, but there's another 2. There we go. So that's going to go, let's just check. Yes, this way here. Isn't that absolutely beautiful? Yes, it is. I'll answer myself. I'm sure you're all agreeing with me at home. It's just the best of pads. And when you've got a 12-inch and an 8-inch to play with, the world is your oyster. So there we go. Don't need ink that one because it's going under that little pocket that we're going to make. So let's get this bit stuck on. Linda was asking a very interesting question in the group. Seeing as we're covering all the coffee stained paper, do we actually really need to use coffee stained paper? And the answer to that is very definitely no. You absolutely don't. You can use ordinary paper, just ink around the edges, and you'll have the same effect. I didn't know when I started this what I was going to do. So as usual, when I make a journal, I started with coffee stained paper. But, you know, I've covered up every single bit that shows, apart from a tiny margin around the edge. So it was completely unnecessary. So I made Mr. F do that for no reason whatsoever. There we go, just centralise that, leave a little space there to the spine. And there we go. You will bear in mind I'm not decorating this until we've finished at least one signature. So that's lovely. Now I'm going to stick my little flap, my little pocket over. We might want to pop something in it. The person whose journal it ends up being might want to pop something in it. So that's that. I'm just actually going to clip that because it's quite resistant because of the rice paper. So I'm just going to stick a couple of little clips on that to give it the right idea. I wouldn't use paper clips at this stage because the rice paper might rip on you. You know, unless you've left yours overnight or something sensible. I haven't. I tried to dry it as quickly as I could so I could carry on with the video, but there we go. That's fine. We'll just leave that to dry. So what I've got now is my rice paper, this page, my favourite so far, I think. I adore that. And we've got our envelope here that's going to go like that. We can always decorate it should we need to, or more likely we'll decorate this page. And it flips over there, and it's just less than the little pocket, which I love. That was kind of what I had in mind. I can't believe I managed it. But we need a method of holding it on, really. That's really nice. We probably need something in that envelope as well. So I've got just a piece of coffee stain paper here. Mr. F Special, isn't it lovely? It's gorgeous actually. So I'm going to fold that in half. And then if I fold it in half again, no. Well, I'm going to fold it kind of there-ish, I think. There-ish. A little less than the envelope. Perfect. And then just fold that back over. There's no need to cut it off. It'll come in useful for journaling. It's a good bit of journaling. Pop that in the envelope. Whoo, that just fits. Just fits. Yeah, that needs bone foldering into submission, that one, I think. There we go. Right, so now we've got our envelope filled with goodness. That's going to go on there like that. Excellent. So now we need something on this page. And what I thought I'd do, because I need to clip this envelope on anyway, is make an altered paper clip. So I haven't made one for some time, so bear with me. This might all go horribly wrong. What I've done is I've got myself a paper clip. I'm very limited on the straight paper clips that I've got. So I've got this one, which is a kind of metallic turquoise. I thought the turquoise might go. It's a bit garish, but never mind. And I've cut out a piece of thick paper, thin card, whatever you want to call it. And it measures 5 by 3.5. And I've cut out a piece from the pad, which should measure the same, 3.5 by 5. So one of those can go on top of the other, like that. But what we need to do first is put the paper clip in. Now, you always put, and I can't remember which way it is, I think you put the longest one in. I don't suppose it's going to make a lot of difference actually. Just thinking about this. So if I had that there, that would come over there. Yeah, I think I want the shortest one out anyway. I don't want it really long. So I've just clipped the paper clip over the paper. I've got the short leg on one, the long leg on the other, and the long leg is going to be my inside. So I want that kind of in the middle, which it absolutely is. And then this piece I'm going to stick over the top of the long piece of the clip. So let's do that now. I'm going to saturate this pin, clip even. I don't know why I insist on calling it what it's not. It's quite annoying. So loads of glue on the pin, around the pin, everywhere to do with the clip. Get it into your silly head. Clip. What's difficult about that? Nothing. And then just glue around the rest. I inked on both sides of this in case the paper that I'd cut wasn't the exact match. Thought maybe I could get away with it if I'd inked it. So we'll see when I come to put it on. Because sometimes it shrinks because you're going over that lump of the paper clip. Yay, I got it right. There we go. Right, so that's going to go on that side. So I want this to be upright here. Is that right? Yeah, that's right, I think. So let's just put that over the card that we've got. That's looking all right to me. Right, give that a really good press down. because that's got to stay. Otherwise the whole premise of an altered paper clip doesn't work. Right up to the clip. It's the pin. What is it called? Paper clip. Clip. It's difficult being me. It just is. Right. So yeah, that's going to slide onto there. Yeah, okay. Right. So that's a bit plain, even considering the fact. Let me just check that I've got this the right way. Yeah, that's going to go there, and it's going to clip over there. Yeah, I'm happy with that. Happy. Good. So I'm just going to pop a little pocket on the bottom of it, just to jazz it up just a little bit. I mean, it's gorgeous. It's paper out of the pack, so of course it's gorgeous. But just to give it a little bit of something. There we are. I'm just going to put this right at the bottom. There we go. And I've cut out one of these, they're like little journaling cards. I backed it onto card on the inside front cover. There's loads of them actually. So I'm just going to carefully put that in there because I don't want that glue to come up. So that's that. I don't want to put that on there yet because obviously that glue's not dry, but it's going to go there and hold that envelope on like that. And the only other thing that we possibly could need is a card to go in there. I think I'm going to leave mine, and whoever gets this can put something in there if they want to, because I absolutely love this. I really do. And it's already got that on it. So, I think we're okay. So all that's going to happen when everything's dry is that this is going to go over there like that, hold our envelope in place like so, and you can slide it out. I'm not going to do it because I put too much strain on the altered paper clip. And then there you go. You can take that off, get your envelope out, whatever. So I'm going to leave mine in that sort of state of half-doneness in a sense. I don't want to put any more strain on the paper clip or on this paper until it's dry. But that's our page for today. It's got the beautiful rice paper on, beautiful, beautiful envelope. And to clip the envelope in place, we've got this large altered paper clip with a pocket on it. So there's lots there for you to take away and alter to your own paper or whatever, to change up, to you can put whatever you like on the front of your paper clip, to be honest. If you're not using this pad, I'm sure that at least what I've shown you will work with any pad. You can take it away and do whatever you want to do with it. So there you go. That's that page of Bob finished. Another page back and front. So the next one, I think, is the centre spread. Just put that back where it goes, which is there. Then that goes in there. Yeah, it's the centre spread next. Ooh, that's a big one because we've got 1, 2, 3, 4 sides to do. So I have to gear up for that one. So I'll see you then, whenever that is, and we'll crack on with a bit more Bob. Thanks for joining me. It's been very pleasurable, and I'll see you really soon. Bye for now.